So to ensure reliability, TCP performs flow control, error control, and congestion control. For the flow control, TCP uses byte-oriented sliding window protocol, which allows efficient transmission of data. So it is given in this figure in the flow control. It allows efficient transmission of data, and at the same time the destination host is not overwhelmed with the data. The flow control operation shown in this figure, the receiver has a buffer size of 8 bytes. 8 kilobytes, sorry, 8 kilobytes. After receiving 4k bytes, the window size is reduced to 4k bytes, and after receiving another 3k bytes, the window size reduces to 4 minus 3k is equal to 1k bytes. So after the buffer gets empty by 4k bytes, the window size increases to 7k bytes. So it may be noted that the window size is totally controlled by the receiver window size, which can be increased or decreased dynamically by the destination. So the destination host can send acknowledgement at any time. So initially 4k byte the sequence number 0 is sent, and after 4k byte the acknowledgement is given by the server that they have taken the 4k bytes, and when 3k bytes are sent by the client with the sequence number 4096, then the buffer at the destination side becomes the 7k byte. So when it consumes another first 4k bytes, then the acknowledgement is sent that it has taken 4k bytes, and then 3k bytes are also sent. So now the next 7k byte sequence number can be sent. So this is the complete procedure of flow control in TCP. And now we discuss the error control in the TCP. So error control is includes mechanism for detecting corrupted segment with the help of the checksum field. Here notice that we are using terminology segment because it is at the transport layer, and the transport layer the datagram is called segment. So acknowledgement method is used to confirm the receipt of uncorrupted data. If the acknowledgement is not received before the timeout, it is assumed that the data or acknowledgement has been corrupted or lost. It may be noted that there is no negative acknowledgement in TCP. So to keep track of lost or discarded segments and to perform the operations smoothly, the following 4 timers are used by the TCP. So retransmission, it is a dynamically decided by the round trip delay time. So round trip time, what do you think about the round trip time? It is the time to send the packet from source to destination and from destination to source. So twice the time from sending the packet from source to destination. And the next timer is persistence. This is used to deal with window size advertisement. Next is keep alive, commonly used in situation where there is long idle connection between two processes. And time weighted, it is used during connection termination. So how congestion control is done at the transport layer? To avoid congestion, the sender process uses 2 strategies known as slow start and additive increase. And the send one uh, is known as multiplicative decrease as shown in figure 6.39. So how congestion control is done? To start with, the congestion window size is set to the maximum segment size, and for each segment that is acknowledged, the size of the congestion window size is increased by maximum segment size until it reaches one half of the allowable window size. Ironically, this is known as slow start. Although the rate of increase is exponential as shown in figure, after reaching the threshold, the window size is increased by one segment for each acknowledgement. This continues till there is no timeout. When a timeout occurs, the threshold is set to one half of the last congestion window size. So this is all about the congestion avoidance in the TCP. So this is a congestion control mechanism by congestion avoidance in the TCP, and we will discuss some other protocols in the application layer in the next classes. So stay home and stay safe and keep learning.